Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? So tonight, at the request of somebody actually using their channel points on something, my cousin Kyle, a while back, used his channel points and asked me what the deck that I hated the absolute most to play was. I told him blue-white control, and that is why there is a blue-white control video on my YouTube channel. So now he has redeemed his points for a second time and asked me what the second most deck I hate is, and now we're playing Boomer Chun because of that. I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of excited. I've been on a kick lately of wanting to play things that are different from my normal playstyle to kind of just get me out of that rhythm and try to play different things. I think playing Rakdos Kroxa and Pioneer is really probably going to help me with this so that I under. All right, thank you. That thing can stop beeping whenever it wants. Um, Playing Rakdos Kroxa in Pioneers, I think will really have helped me set up how to play a mid-range deck. That was really like one of the first mid-range decks I ever like really tried to force myself to play. And sometimes it's really just black red aggro. So I don't know. I literally went to Google and typed in Boomer Jund, and this is what I found. I did cut a Renin 6 for a seasoned Pyromancer. My rental limit on Mana Traders wouldn't allow me to play 3 Renin 6s, so we had to make a little bit of a change. And seasoned Pyromancer seems good. It throws bodies in the way and it provides card selection, I guess, or yeah. So it seems pretty good. I think the one of Spellbomb and the one of Cling to Dust is very interesting. I don't know who put this together, but I kind of like it. And I've never played the card Deglamour ever, but it looks pretty cool, and I'm excited to play it. So with that being said, we're just gonna go ahead and jump in. Modern League, 100 points. Man, there's already this many people that have a trophy. Lord, it when I play in like leagues and I 4-1 or 5-0, especially when I 5-0 and I get a trophy, it really makes me feel good. And there's like really the big reason for that is stuff like this. So look at this. You look at this like what we reset the season what 3 or 4 days ago. And somebody like multiple people already have 3 and 2 trophies. Like so there are obviously good Magic players out there and people that like are just good at the game. So I know I don't always get those people when I play in these leagues, but it does make me feel good when I do well in these leagues because of that. Um, One thing of note that I really like in the sideboard that you don't get when you play Lyris is Plague Engineer. I don't know if Plague Engineer is really that good, but God, do I love that card. Want to become famous by followers, primes, and blah. Oh, even put the space in the .com. You almost got me there, bot. You almost got me. So this hand's pretty good. I mean, we have removal, we have hand disruption, and we have threats, and our opponent mulligans, so we're definitely going to keep. I don't like that we have Raging Ravine as one of our cards because it comes into play tapped, but our opponent's on 4 cards, so that they're probably playing like Dredge or Tron or some kind of weird combo deck. Because like when you're playing against like a lot of fair decks in the format, it's pretty hard for somebody to mulligan to like 5 or 4 or something like that. Like, yeah, see exactly, Tron. I still think we're going to Inquisition here and see if we can get something. I mean, this is still a tough matchup. I was like, hopefully they just didn't like natty do it to us. Well, now they have it. Okay. So Sylvan Scrying off the top was pretty good for them. I don't really see there being anything we want to bolt, so I'm just going to go ahead and start adding cards for Goyf. Discard our Seasoned Pyromancer because we can activate it later. Now, they'll have Tron, so basically anything they draw is just gas here. So we actually have a really cool line here of discard our forest. And we get to play Wrenn plus on our forest, play our forest, and play our Tarmogoyf. So that was a pretty good sequencing of events. I mean, they still have to brick here. Like, we're playing against Tron. Basically, anything they draw just, like, wins them the game, which is kind of unfortunate, but... Huh. I think I'm actually just going to attack for 5 here, and then shoot them and make them discard, because then we have lethal next turn. Target player discards a card, deals 2 damage to any target. Target them both times. Alright, so we got a pretty good one there. Oh, never tapped red. Yep, and we end up with lethal there. Alright, that was pretty sweet. I hear it's beating Jun game 1 is really hard, so I'm pretty happy about that. Alright, hang on. I didn't mean to do it that way. So we're going to set it over here to the side so that we can at least see what we're doing. Alright, Tron, round 1. I'm trying to think of like what's good and what's not here. Probably want to leave in some number of bolts. I say we try it like this. This allows us to get pretty aggressive. Maelstrom Pulse and K-Command are still pretty good, because K-Command can just like blow up artifacts and some other stuff, so... Them mulliganing to 4 and bricking the 1 turn we needed them to there was really good. So they bricked 1 turn, and then we pilled K-Command, which was insane. Because if they would have been able to... Man, this hand's really slow. If they would have been able to resolve... Begins the game with 7 cards. So if they would have been able to resolve the O-Stone, we would have lost the game there, more than likely. I don't know. I just don't think we can keep this with not having anything to do in the first couple turns. I feel like this hand's even worse. Because Bolt's not really the interaction we're looking for here. Man. Yeah, I guess we're keeping this 5 here. I really would have liked to have seen a Thoughtseize or, you know, anything here. Leading on Inquisition is... we can probably just beat the O-Stone later in the game, so we definitely want to take their... I don't really know what my opponent's logic is for keeping a 1 Tron piece hand like that. I mean, maybe it's that if they draw any other Tron piece, they get there. And plus, they're playing against a discard deck, so they want to keep their hand, I guess. So they have a sphere in their hand. Ooh, Pithing Needle. Is Liliana of the Veil. Okay. So they have a sphere and an O-Stone in their hand. Okay. Oh, man, Sylvan Scrying too. That's pretty good. Alright, so they have O-Stone and Tron piece. Huh. How's the Magic going, and how are you, buddy? So I'm playing a deck that Kyle requested that I hate to play. But I'm up a game against the hardest matchup it has, I think. So I feel like that's pretty good. And I'm doing pretty good, man. You know, it's the end of the week, so I'm pretty happy about that. How are you, man? What's been going on with the world of Ben? Ugh, that's a tough scene. Yep. Because no matter what they get, we can still respond here. I'm good, not much. Same old, same old. Nanny says Eddie has COVID. Oh no, that's awful. I hate to hear that. Man, it just feels like somebody's always getting something, man. That's tough. I hate that. Hope he's okay. Hope he's not like sick or anything from it. Okay. Alright, so we managed to get rid of the Oblivion Stone. Cast Maelstrom Pulse on the Karn the Great Creator. Seems okay. Gotta sacrifice him to the volcano, though. Tough scene. Yeah, it sounds like a tough scene. I'm sure Nanny took that well. I don't know what you're up to later, man, but you want to play some Rocket League later? Me and maybe me and you and Kyle can play some threes or something. My opponent could have done that in response and save their Oblivion Stone. I really didn't think about that. That would have been pretty good for my opponent. I wasn't even thinking about that. Sure, sounds like fun. All right, cool. Uh, Stop drawing cards that do things. Huh. Let's see what they do here. I'm curious to know if they actually like shuffle it in or if they just take 3 points here. Or maybe they take 2 points and then shuffle it in? Yeah, so they do, and then they shuffle it in. All right, that was pretty. I feel like that was probably the best play there. Put a 4/5 into play, and then next turn we have Croaks to follow up. That's right, bop them. Let's hope so, man. So even if my opponent bricked here, which I mean, I guess he had another card in hand, so I guess he didn't completely brick. He still has Karn to activate here, which is pretty solid. Oh, he has 2 Walking Ballistas in his sideboard? Man, is that insanely aggressive. I would not have seen that coming. I was like, so he has to do it now, because if not, I can sacrifice the peat land in response and make my Goyf a 5/6, and then he'll have to kill his walking ballista to do it. All right, what are we looking for here? So used to clicking it in the technically correct order because of. I guess there are some bolts in here, technically. I was like, so if I draw a bolt, I will be able to kill the. I guess we would have killed the walking ballista there if we were given the option. Let's see. So 4. So he can pump it up 3 times into a 4/4, and I mean honestly, that's just a pretty good clock. Like if that's what he's trying to do. 4/4 walking ballista against me having 1 card in hand seems pretty good. Or Ugin here is also really good. Oh no, so he is pumping it up. Okay. But he's gonna leave the blast zone open. Oh, have to play the swamp to be able to do this first. We're going to leave the Tarmogoyf in case we draw a K command. We can return the Goyf to our hand. Interesting. I don't think I would have done it that way. I think I would have just discarded the Dismember, pumped up my... I guess I would have... And then put a counter on the Blast Zone? I don't know, but... Nah, he's shaking his boots. I hope so. It's probably not the case, but I hope so. G2 lost to NRG tonight. Shocking. Alright, so he puts us to 7 here. Well, IOK is not going to do it here. Alright. Let's go back to the drawing board here. So, do we want a 3rd bolt to deal with Karn over having a Renin 6? Because Renin 6 doesn't really seem like it does a lot here. Bloodbraid Elf is really good. Liliana the Veil feels pretty medium. Like, I don't know. I don't even really know how I feel about that, honestly. I think we just want maybe a 4th bolt over a Liliana of the Veil. Could be wrong. Pyromancer seems good. It's card selection and bodies. Fulminator Mage allows us to pick off lands. K-Command basically allows us to return things or kill their stuff. Maelstrom Pulse is great. Trophy's great. Glyph's a great threat. Deglamour's good. Croaks is good. IOK and Thoughtseize are just good hand disruption, especially on the play here. And, I mean, I think Lightning Bolt's just better than the other options we have. So, when I used to referee Magic tournaments, guys like this always folded under the pressure. I thought you were gonna talk about like something you actually refereed one time or something, and then I was like, what? Ben, you're too funny, man. I'm actually gonna go play in a pre-release tomorrow, which I'm pretty excited about. I haven't got to play in a pre-release in like a year and a half or something because of COVID. Like when a new Magic set comes out, like you just get to open 6 packs and build a deck out of it, and then play. And I'm gonna play with one of my buddies tomorrow. Like this hand just doesn't feel good enough. Like I like the turn 2 Croxa and I like having K command, but again, it feels too slow. Maybe we keep this and hope our opponent mulligans a bunch. Yeah, I'm pretty excited about it. I hope it's cool. You know, man, I don't know. Let's try it. Our opponent keeps 7, which if it's anything like their last hand is going to be really good for us. But if it's a really good hand, then we're in pretty tough shape here. We'll also be in pretty tough shape if we don't draw a third land here. But there's 24 lands in the deck, so I'm not really sweating that too much, honestly. I'm leading on Relic of Progenitus. Again, we're still in a spot where that's really good or really bad. Drawing basic mountain for Liliana does not feel great. Yep, that's fine. I think we'd rather have Overgrown Tomb here. Let's just start making them discard cards. Honestly, let's just kind of hope that we draw a black source here. Okay. That's fine. We're going to discard the mountain here. Actually, no, we're going to discard the Pyromancer. I foresee that, like, A, it has play from the graveyard, and B, I think K commands, like, the mountain will probably just end up being too good, honestly. That or it'll be good to discard it next turn. Okay. 3 cards in hand. 2 cards in hand, so we... Oh, no, that's not good. I needed that not to be a map. Oh, that's busted. See what he discards. We're going to discard the Mountaineer. Oh, Maelstrom Pulse was such a good rip right there. Gonna let him eat the mountain. And then we get to get both of his maps, so now he really has no way to turn on Tron. So why don't you like this deck? It's not really that I don't like this deck, it's that I'm not really good with it. Like that's just the honest truth. Like it's a mid-rangey deck, and I'm honestly just not very good at mid-range decks, so if he didn't draw a way to get Tron here, which it feels like he did. Okay, that's good. I can live with that. So we're gonna discard. We're each gonna discard here. And then during his draw step, I'm gonna shoot the Walking Ballista, and I'm gonna make him discard a card. Target player discards, destroy target artifact. Red, black. All right. And now if we draw a land, we can get busy with the... If we draw an untapped land, we can get busy with the Raging Ravine here. Understandable. That's why I don't like Rocket League ones. I mean, buddy, I get it. Like, I feel that on a spiritual level, my man. We kind of just... We've put ourselves in a pretty decent spot here. We just kind of have to hope he doesn't draw Tron. Now, the good news is that Raging Ravine does get big quick, so we don't have to fade that many draw steps. Like, Raging Ravine gets a counter every turn, so it's pretty good. Yes! Let's go! Alright, we beat Tron with the old Jund deck. I never thought I'd get to say that a day in my life. Feels like So our opponent kept hands that I won't lie, like they weren't great. Like they just like they had potential to be good, but they weren't great. And I think he did that because we're a Thoughtseize deck, we're a discard heavy deck. Um, and I think it just panned out for us that way. That's right, bop him. I have to say, I guess you were right, Ben. Fold under the pressure. Yeah. He's playing Lyris. We're gonna take no damage off of our lands, and we have two pieces of interaction and a Seasoned Pyromancer. We're get fucked, Nightbot. You didn't play. Oh man, Ben, you kill me sometimes, man. I'm not gonna lie. I'm glad I turned off the like curse word sensory or whatever. Nightbot would have stopped you if you'd have said that. If you're waiting on me to be wrong, you're going to have moss growing on the north side. Where do you even hear these sayings, man? Like, where do you come up with this stuff? Like, don't get me wrong, I love it, but I. All right, well, Sacred Foundry action. We're gonna go for Fatal Push here because we want to use our spells. And if we take damage, it allows him to light up the stage without playing without playing another spell. And we'd rather force him to have to play around it. See if he wants to play light up the stage, which I imagine he's gonna do right here. Yep. And that's what we were looking for. This feels like that weird prowessy burn deck. Well, we can't play our Wrenn and 6, which is a little disappointing, but that's okay. Plays Bauble from his hand, okay. Yep. We go to 15. There's nothing we can do about it. Look at my top card. So we're gonna discard. I think we're gonna discard these. I was really hoping that we would draw like a way to have a non-damaging green source, like without having to fetch shock here. But I guess you can't have it all. Or if somebody can, it's not me. The fact that they're putting Luris into their hand is really good for us because it means their hand is good garbage. Now, unfortunately, we have to take 3 here. I don't know if that's great, but I think forcing them to have another white source here, if they want to play Luris and do something else, is really good. And I'm just attacking with everybody because I want to end the game. Like, I want the game to be over with, just straight up. That's where I'm at right now. Ah, he got Manamorphose to make white. Okay. Okay. Plays Luris, plays Soulscar Mage, maybe? Yep. Okay. Let's kill Luris. See what he does here. Okay. Removal spell would be swawesome. I guess I can live with Inquisition. It at least allows me to see what's going on in his hand. And the good news is that we can attack with both the Bloodbraid Elves here because it presents lethal and he has to block with something. So we can still attack with both the Bloodbraid Elves here, and he still only goes to 11. Or is he just going to pull some shenaniganry with the Lava Darts? Yeah, so if we attack here and he Lava Darts one of our Bloodbraid Elves and then blocks, we're in a bad spot, so we can't attack. And you know, I don't feel like you can play a turn into, oh, my opponent may not see it. Like that's not really on the table. Like at this level, like, well, maybe not this level. I could be playing against, you know, like a complete putz, but that's just not a chance I'm willing to take. If he attacks here, I'm going to literally put everything in front of the Luris. Now this is pretty good. This is some good value right here. Fatal Push would be awesome right here. I don't think Thoughtseize is worth casting. Yeah, I don't like it. Forces him to play his Lava Dart here, but yeah, I don't think that's worth playing here. I also don't see a viable route for us to attack. I mean, I guess we could send it with both the Bloodbraid Elves. But we're also just kind of getting to this point to where we have enough of a force we can just get in there. Now, we can't wait forever because, unfortunately, I mean, he will just keep drawing cards with Mishra's Bauble. Baubles himself there, which I actually think is a really smart play because he has a Sunbake Canyon in play. Nope. Croxa would be sweet right here. I think Bloodbraid Elf might have just been enough to seal the deal here. Really? Oh, I guess I didn't tap the Stomping Ground for red. Oh, it's so good. We're going to make him sack a... That's probably lethal, I think. We're going to Thoughtseize so we can force him to take action here. Okay. Who's Bob? Okay, so Bob is a card. It's called Dark Confidant, but back in the day when you won certain tournaments, you had the chance to have a card named after you. And this guy named Bob won a tournament, like basically, and they made a card after him. Like he designed his own card, and so everybody calls it Bob. But it's called Dark Confidant. It's actually a really good card. Just I think our opponent's trying to find a way out of this, and I don't know if he has one. Because I don't think there's any way that like, so he can kill Bloodbraid Elf with one Lava Dart, kill a Elemental token with another Lava Dart, go to 7, and then block, take 3, 5, 7. So yeah, there's. I mean, I guess if he drew like a bolt or something, I guess another Lava Dart would actually be pretty good too. Yeah, we drew pretty well that game. That was a pretty good game. Cling to Dust will be really good. Collective Brutality. Name a creature type. They're both wizards. Now I don't think it having I don't think Soulscar Mage getting -1/-1 is really that good, but Plague Engineer killing the I don't think Plague Engineer is worth it. All right. We do not want Thoughtseize. Come here. Ren 6 seems very medium. I don't feel like Ashiok's that great here. There might be some consideration for a couple of these if we have cards that are worse. No, I think we'll try it like this on the draw and see what happens. Maybe on the play we'll throw in some Fulminator Mages and see if it's good enough. And honestly, I don't really feel like we want any graveyard hate here. Cling to Dust doubles as life gain and graveyard hate, but I don't really feel like we want any graveyard hate. I feel like we just want to have good interactive hands. Like this hand feels pretty good. It's a little slow, and we are missing black mana, but it's pretty good. Like it has a removal spell, and it has a hmm. All right, if you have it, I'm gonna force you to use it now. All right, so they do have it, which is fine. I mean, maybe we should lead on Fatal Push there. I don't know. I guess we're dumping cards out of their hands, so I don't really know that it's where I want to be. Our Goyf's already going to be a 2/3. Light up the stage is pretty good. Them hitting 2 lands is also pretty good for us, so. I don't really think they play. I mean, maybe they play like Apostle's Blessing or something that I should be playing around here, but I'm not going to. I'm gonna no respect them having Apostle's Blessing with my Fatal Push here, so. And if we get punished for it, then we know for game 3. Shocks it in, okay. Nothing I can do about that. Lava Dart's pretty good. Do they have another spell to play? So even with everything here, we might still be dead anyway. Well, I don't think we'll die, but we'll go to 11, we'll go to 10, then we'll go to 9 if he goes for it. Okay, I was like, that's if he goes for it. He may not. We're going to play Tarmogoyf, play Raging Ravine number 2 here, and then say go. And then next turn, we might be looking, I don't know, we'll see what they do here before we really get too far into it. If they hit a blank, they might just put Lyris into their hand. Okay. Hmm. This is interesting. Man, like these are all good cards. So we have 5 cards. We need to play the land regardless so that we can get to 4 lands. So we're going to play the land. And then if we pull, or if we bolt and then Pyromancer, we're forced to discard Pulse and other Pyromancer, which I don't think is that good. I think we're just going to say go here, which is weird because we have a lot of things that we could be doing this turn, but I don't know. I'm just going to say go here. Okay. I mean, their lava darts are basically useless because they're not drawing lands. Like maybe he drew one this turn, but he didn't play one last turn, which means he's not been drawing lands. And in order to actually effectively use his lava darts against my Tarmogoyf and attack, he has to use both of them, which makes no sense. So we're gonna hold the bolt here. We're playing very conservative. We're gonna go for Maelstrom Pulse here and see what happens. All right, let's attack for 4. He could have Deflecting Palm here. Ooh, Cracking Sunbait Canyon, which is good for us because it means that even if he draws a land and plays his Lyris here, like, what's he really gonna do with it? Swiss Spear? Okay, so we know one of the cards in his hand is Lyris. Should probably have that put up here. Oh, did I just die here? Man, that sucks. We played this game so well. Oh. What? Okay. We were just dead there. But yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. The Boppeth definitely comes. So he's just dead here, right? Because the only card in his hand is Lyris, and we get to attack for 8. Cool. Thanks for playing. Hey, all right. 2-0 with the old Jund deck. This has been a better start than I thought it was going to be. I won't lie. I was kind of expecting like an like a 1-4 or a 2-3 here, but we're 2-0. We've been drawing pretty well. Sorry, one of my friends is asking if I know anybody that plays D&D, and oh my gosh, oh Lord, Ben just bopping him to death in the chat. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. You know how to hype somebody up. Uh, I mean, maybe we shouldn't keep this hand, but I feel like it's pretty good, so we're gonna keep it. We're gonna play the Verdant Catacombs here, and we're going to lead on Stomping Ground and new meta decks. New meta decks you don't like confirmed. I like it. I like it. Maybe that's what I should be on. I'll just start playing decks I hate at tournaments and see how I do. Oh, it's Affinity. Fuck. This is gonna be bad. Jund used to have a really good matchup against Affinity, but I also kept a really bad hand for it, so we'll see what happens. I'm gonna need to draw like K command here and then hit something really good off of Assassin's Trophy's not bad. It's probably a little aggressive, but it does add things to our clock. I was like, we're getting to add 2 more points to our clock here, and then we have Bloodbraid Elf next turn, so probably pretty aggressive to go for the Assassin's Trophy there, but okay. So we're gonna get the forest here. Cascade, something good, please. It's a little disappointing that we hit a Fatal Push, because Fatal Push would have been great. Like, we would have loved to have seen a Fatal Push, like if they had a creature, but you know, can't have it all sometimes. All right, they got a lot of lands here. Thoughtcast is a pretty good start to the turn. Springleaf Drum, Dot Monitor is really good. All right, maybe here's where they go off. Welding Jar is also good. Oh no. They're doing it, chat. Huh. So they do have a land. Might just be dead here. Ugh, they get the instant. Oh, they're making a guy. I wasn't even thinking about the Springleaf Drums. All right, blowout. Yeah, I'm just super dead here. Because they're just going to attach Cranial Plating and Shadow Spirit of that thing. Yeah, I'm done for here. All right, we're going to concede. Yep. Collective Brutality. Deglamour. I don't... Hey, maybe we want Fulminator Mage to, like, it hits Sagas. We kind of want Hand Disruption, but we kind of don't at the same time. Liliana seems extra medium. Renin 6 actually feels really good in this matchup. Croxus seems okay. Like, let's look at the Affinity. I'm going to pull up the Affinity list on my other screen here and see if it's... and see if there's enough creature types amongst things they control for me to justify bringing in Plague Engineer. Because they have to have a lot of the same things here for me to be okay with it. Memnite's a construct, Thopter, Food Goblin, Imp, Frog. No, absolutely not. So they basically, yeah. Okay. So there's less land in Montana than on that guy's field. Oh Lord. I don't think we want Cling to Dust really. I don't know. Like the only other thing I could see us bringing in would be Fulminator Mage, but I think we would rather have a one of Croxa as like an additional threat and just try to keep our removal here. And maybe we should be cutting Bloodbraid Elf. Like maybe Bloodbraid is too slow. I think this hand's really good. So we're gonna play the Bloodstained Mire because if he plays something we can Fatal Push, we're gonna Fatal Push it. But if not, we're gonna get an Overgrown Tomb tapped. So we're just gonna fetch the Overgrown Tomb here, chalk it in, and Fatal Push this. Want to keep their board as clear as possible. And that makes for a big goif, so we're just going to put a clock in play, and the next turn, the worst, like, the floor of next turn is Croxa. So, feels like a pretty decent start. Okay. Okay. Glimmer Void, okay. Dot Cast is not bad. I still think we're just going to play Croxa. All right, well, that makes our Tarmogoyf a 4-turn clock here. Deglamor looks really good next turn. And if we draw an untapped land, depending on what we're looking at, we'll probably just play the Bloodbraid Elf, because virtually anything off Bloodbraid will be good. Honestly, like Inquisition might even be okay at this point in the game. Its Champion's pretty good. I don't really know how we beat that one, honestly. Yeah, protection from all colors. That's a tough one. So I guess the question is, are we deglamoring the Urza Saga here? I think I'm going to. Feels okay. I don't know. Like I could be wrong there. Like maybe that's too aggressive. A too aggressive line. Okay, so it's just cranial plating that comes equipped to something. So okay. All right. I don't think that's worth playing. I feel like that's just too slow. All right, Cascade something good for me, please. Yeah, I mean, it feels okay. We get to make blockers. Drawing 2 lands was not what I had in mind right there. But it does set us up for Croxa next turn. Which still doesn't matter. Like, if they... How much does this Nettlecyst cost to equip? 2? So they're just going to slap that on Edge Champion, and we're just going to lose to that, I think. Like, straight up. I think Edge Champion's just going to get us here. Thought Monitor's pretty good. Man, when I played Affinity, I did not draw this well. Ugh. And cranial plating? My god. Stop. Oh, I'm just dead. Alrighty then. Alright. Well, we pick up a loss to Affinity. Edge Champion was a house, man. Like, maybe I misplayed there. Maybe there was something I could have done better. I don't know. Like, it felt like we used our removal efficiently. Like, maybe the best thing we can do is bring in Plague Engineers and hope we draw both of them and name Soldier, like on the off chance that we actually get there. I don't know. Maybe I used the Deglammer too early. Like that's very possible that the Deglammer just came across like too early and I should have held on to it longer. But I don't know. Felt like that was like I played maybe not perfect but well. So all right, we're 2-1. Maybe I spoke too highly too soon. Maybe at 2-0 is where it all falls apart and we finish with that 2-3 I thought I'd have anyway. Gigantha? Yeah, I think with a Liliana we're gonna keep this. I don't know. Like the only thing I can think of that plays Gigantha is Tron or some kind of weird like slower controlling deck that Liliana of the Veil will be really good against. Like if we play Tron again, I doubt we'll get lucky enough to beat Tron again. So definitely gonna get Blood Crypt here. So this is probably like creativity or something. Well, no, they play. Gigantha says it can't be more than one color, the same color. So it's not that. They discard Lightning Bolt. Okay. I mean, that turns their Goyf into pretty decent right there. So if they don't have a counter spell here, wait, this Tribal Zoo? This is Tribal Zoo. Okay, Tribal Zoo. At least we know what we're playing against. So now I think it's safe to fetch for basic Swamp. That allows us to play Liliana and plus. And I think it's safe to discard the Pyromancer here. I want to keep Liliana number 2 around because we can minus our Liliana and then maybe it's better to discard the land. Yeah, we're going to discard the land here. We at some point may want to be able we want to have the ability to get to 4 lands to play our Croxa, but I don't think that's coming up anytime soon. So what the hell? For each basic land type among creatures you control. Boros charm me. Oh, so they're just going to go upstairs. Attacking me. So I go to 3 here. So we have to take the Boros Charm and leave them with Prismatic Ending. Alright. We're going to discard our Liliana here to make Goifa 5/6. Plus, yeah, there's a sorcery. So we're going to discard Liliana, make Goifa 5/6, and then we can block the Brush Fire Elemental and hope we dodge burn. Alright. We have given ourselves what I believe is the best chance for us to win here. Like, even if he draws a fetch land here, he just draw Bolt. Ragavan, okay. I think we need to try and win the game here. I think we need to take a chance that he bricks. Play Goif number 2, say go. No. No. Dang. Alright, we almost got there. All things considered, that game, I feel like that wasn't that bad. Alright, Collective Brutality. Fulminator Mage. Take out Thoughtseize. Take out Renin 6. I don't know, Croxa discards, but it doesn't add to the board. I don't really feel like K-Command does anything. Doesn't really kill anything, so we're going to do that. See what happens. Alright. Well, we lost on the play, which is not exactly where we wanted to be. We were really hoping to win that one on the play there. And we almost had him. Because if he doesn't draw Tribal Flames, we probably get out of that. And by probably, I mean definitely, because we had, like, he had to draw another blocker, and we had to not draw a removal spell the next turn, or an untapped land. But we were going to draw a tapped land, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered. This hand feels really good. We're going to keep this. Multiple removal spells. Fulminator Mage is great here because it really just allows us to go to work on their land base, which is extremely aggressive. So, yeah, I really like this hand. Having turn 1 interaction into nothing to do on turn 2, but having turn 1 interaction and, you know, multiple follow-ups that really interact with their aggressive land base and their creatures is really good. Yeah, I did that the wrong way, but curious to see what he discards here. Okay. If he plays like just a big creature here, we're just going to slam Liliana and minus. Renin 6, okay. Yeah, we're just going to go after the red and 6 here and say go. Hey, the next turn we have Liliana or Fulminator Mage plus Bolt. He returned the Arid Mesa there. Okay. So we know he has an Arid Mesa in his hand. That's pretty good. But that's okay because we can hold up Bolt. He cannot cast our Seasoned Pyromancer, which is good. We're going to hit the Triome here and say go. Hold up Lightning Bolt. Now our opponent has to respect interaction here because we're playing Jund. Yep. So he still has an Arid Mace in his hand. We're going to plus and discard the Verdant Catacombs. Hold on to the Assassin's Trophy. That's going to be a pretty good one. Okay, so we no longer know the cards in his hand. And because of the basic forest, we actually can't cast the Kroxa from our graveyard, which is a little disappointing, but that's okay. Haito. Okay. What's this guy's name? Haito Goroshi 80. Alright. Okay. 2 cards in hand, so I'm going to say go here, and I'm going to attempt to block and shoot the Indatha Triome, whatever it's called. Like I think it's the Abzan Triome. Okay. Yep. So we're going to take 5 and go to 10 here, which is fine. Like, that does put us in double Tribal Flames range, but this is really good because we get the minus here. We want to save as many resources as we can. That's why I'm choosing the minus there. And honestly, if we ever draw a black or a red source here, yeah, black or red source, we're rolling here. 1 card in hand. I'm just going to hold on to the Brutality here. I don't see a reason to play it. Like, maybe I'm wrong, but I don't see a reason to go after it there. So you have a 3rd Inditha Triome you can fetch for. Sacred Foundry. Blue, red, white, green. So he's missing black. I mean, he has the treasure token to cast his spells with. He has a treasure token to cast his spells with, but he doesn't have black for Tribal Flames, which is pretty good. Tarmogoyf's a good one. We'll just slam a 5/6 and say go here. If that basic forest we drew had been a basic swamp here, I mean, it would have changed the way we fetched earlier in the game, but it also would have been really good because we would have been able to have cast our Kroxa by now. Okay. So he has Gigantha and Unknown card. Black or red source? Yep. Basic swamp. Red, black, red. Lands. We can get rid of a Liliana because it leaves one of them in the yard for our Tarmogoyfs. Curious to see what he discards here. Like that last card, the other card has to be pretty good if he's discarding Giganta here, so I'm pretty curious to see about this. Okay, so he discards Bloodstained Mire. Okay. Pretty sure this just allows us to win here. I guess he could have a Fatal Push in his hand. So I think I did this wrong. What's he going to discard here? I'm actually curious to see if he blocks here. He does. And if he doesn't block, we're just going to Brutality him and win the game here. Target opponent loses 2 life, you gain 2 life. Bada bing, bada boom. So it is randomly worth noting there that I should have left the green up because I could have went black red for the brutality and then green black for the trophy and then overgrown tomb for the push. But the way I tapped did not allow us to use our mana effectively the rest of the game, so that was a misplay there. I almost think Thoughtseize might be worth having. I don't know. On the draw, it feels so questionable, but is there something better we want? Maybe K Command? They don't really play anything that dies to K Command is the problem. I think we're just going to run it back this way. I don't know. So our opponent mulligans. I think I'm going to keep this. Like it's pretty slow. I won't lie. Like this hand is really slow, but at the same time, like I think this is worth keeping. We have a lot of good interaction, and if we ever draw anything to do on like Lightning Bolt is really good here, so we're gonna play this so that we can. Lightning Bolt was a great draw because if he dashes in a monkey here, we get to fetch shock for Blood Crypt, and so this is actually really cool because land and instant are going to be the only 2 cards in the graveyard. We actually get to kill Boltus Tarmogoyf, and that does not happen very often. So you got to take those wins when you can get them. Man. Whew. This is tough right here. Wow. And discard a Fulminator Mage. All right, so we're really going to hope that we draw a an untapped land here. Drawing an untapped land here might seal the game. Which one are you playing? Kavu? Okay, so you have a Tarmogoyf and an Unknown in your hand. Let's go. Untapped land, one time. What's our opponent doing? Untapped land! Hit 6 opponent. Dang. Drawing third Fulminator Mage was pretty rough there. Discard a card if you do draw a card, okay? So he discards Stomping Ground. Which means his last 2 cards are probably land, Goyf, something else. No. He has 2 unknown cards in his hand. Alright. He's probably going to sacrifice his Tarmogoyf here. If I had to guess. Because he'll want Kavu to help him draw cards. Okay. That's interesting. He's going to bolt Lily on it. No, he's going to bolt me. Okay. He must be running burn spells the rest of the way if this is the case. Put me to 7. Okay, so he's banking on being able to burn me out here. Which, I mean... puts me to 2. Okay. So our best plays definitely... Man. We're going to plus here. We're going to discard our Inquisition of Kozilek. We're going to play Liliana number 2. We're going to make sure we keep the right one. Keep this one. Make you sacrifice Tarmogoyf. And then we're going to say go and hope our opponent just never draws a burn spell. There's nothing that deals 1 in their deck to my knowledge, so... Okay, put Gigantha in your hand. Don't really care about that. We want Stomping Ground here. Oh yeah, it comes into play tapped automatically because I don't have life I can pay. Man. Each player discards a card. I am going to discard a Fulminator. Man, yeah, I have to, I think. Alright. Let's turn Boros Charm off. That is what that does, essentially. And then next turn, we have a good threat. Now, he still has 2 Tribal Flames and 3 Lightning Bolts in his deck that I should be aware of, so... We're kind of just spending the rest of the game fading draw steps. Hoping it works out for us. I'm not going to plus. That Bloodbraid Elf's too good here. I mean, he has to draw it this turn. If not, he's dead. Kill me or lose. No! No! Dang. I should have played around that. Like, straight up. So let's see. If we play the blood, we take away 3 points there at 9. So if we plus and we leave back the Bloodbraid Elf, and then next turn we have Raging Ravine plus Bloodbraid Elf, that is lethal. So yeah. Plus when we plus there, if they play this elemental, um, we get to they can't attack with it. Um, yeah, they can't attack with it, and even if they do, and they have a land to play and kill my Bloodbraid Elf, I still animate Raging Ravine for lethal. And if they don't attack, I get to minus make them sacrifice it and then animate for lethal. So yeah, attacking with the Bloodbraid Elf was very wrong there, and I got punished for it, like straight up. Like that was good draw step by him. So that's unfortunate. I'm gonna run and use the bathroom really quick before we play our 5th match. Hopefully we can get a 3-2 out of this. All right. Okay, let's rattle off this last game. So we beat Tron. We beat Boros Prowess. We lost to Affinity, and then we misplayed on the very last turn of the game against Five Color Zoo. So if I had stopped and thought about it, I would have considered the act like what I should have done there. So yeah, that was definitely wrong on my part. Hopefully we can finish with a 3-2 here. I mean, this hand's a little like slow on the draw. I wish we had something to do on turn 1, but this hand feels good enough to keep. We have multiple points of interaction and a couple threats, so. Well, we'll play Thoughtseize. We drew it, so. Okay. Plays Mountain, says go. Well, maybe he says go. He might play the Boom Bust here, honestly. Play Croxa. Make them pitch a card from their hand. I could be wrong, but this kind of feels like we're just the better mid-range deck here. Now they are going to play Boom Bust. So we know they have Sunbait Canyon, Nahiri, and something else in their hand. Flagstone's number 2. Okay. Yeah, we're going to get a Stomping Ground here, and we're going to play Assassin's Trophy. Green-black. Now they do get to get another basic here. Not that I think that'll be super punishing or anything. I think I'm going to see what they do. Hopefully they don't put like a Karn or anything here. Okay, I mean they can still draw something good, but the fact that they're drawing like sacking Canyon is a good thing for us. Return target creature card from your graveyard. Target player discards a card. Return Croxa. You discard black, red. I'm thinking that they might just have lands in their hand. Probably should have played Inquisition first to see if there was something I could take. I'm going to see what the last card in their hand is. It's another land, okay. That's unfortunate for them. That's a lot of lands, which means they're probably, like, destined to hit, like, a bomb here or something. Or not. Uh-oh. I'm glad I messed that up because I wanted to cast Croxa, not the... Wanted to cast Croxa, not the Bloodbraid Elf anyway, so... Okay, they discard Lightning Bolt. They have one card in hand. No, we're not going to pay 2 life. I don't see a reason to hold it up when next turn we can play BBE and have Lightning Bolt access here. Prismatic Ending, okay, that's pretty good. Probably the reason for playing the Triome there. I don't know why I never tap green. Just want to put the pressure on as fast as we can here. We're just going to 6. They go to 8. So the bolt allows us to have lethal. Luck was not on my side. Yeah, you've had a pretty tough draw here, buddy. Oh, that indestructible artifact land, I bet makes this deck pretty good actually. Maybe he has like a Helix or a Bolt or something here. Okay. So it's not over yet. Thought it would be, honestly, right there. I kind of thought the game was over, but he did draw a removal, so hopefully my man just like breaks one more time, which I know is a lot to ask. He's 40 cards in and has barely seen anything, but what does Nahiri say? Nahiri the Harbinger. Search your library. All right, cool. So this shuts down the Nahiri combo. Fulminator Mage is probably not great. We do want to take their instant and sorceries. Fatal Push seems bad. K Command, Ren and 6 seems like okay. We might leave one Ren and 6 in, depends on what else we cut. Bolt doesn't feel very good. I think we want all of our Lilianas to try and help make them discard their hand, so I think this is the best way to go about it. Man, if this had a second land, I'd snap this off. I think we might be forced to keep this one and throw that back. Alright, land? Okay, that does help a little bit. So we're going to have to go to 15 here, but our life total is not in horrible danger, I feel like. Man. I think we have to take one of these boom busts. Like, I was kind of hoping that we could just get away with, like, only having, like, to beat one there, but... Yep. Now, if they draw something like that, they can't actually even do that because it gives us the ability to fetch in response. Rest in Peace is pretty solid. Plays Triome. No. Cast 2 modes. And we're going to pitch the Goyf here. I mean, I guess like maybe we should have kept it because we can Maelstrom Pulse the Rest in Peace and try to do something that way, but we do have removal here, so... I mean, he plays the Canyon because he knows he's going to have to discard it. Showdown of the Scalds. My dude. This, bruh. I love this. I'm all about what our opponent is doing right now. So he can play Chandra plus for mana. Showdown of the Scalds has done its job, so I don't know. I guess we're just going to hope we draw another land here so that we can Maelstrom Pulse the Chandra. It's really the best option I see for us here. Yeah, he just gets to play... Okay. I was like, yeah, sure, don't play Chandra. I love it. Head mana. Yep. Well, policies can only be so good here. Alright, don't care about Cleansing Wild... I mean, I care about Cleansing Wildfire, but I don't because it allows me to at least get a basic here. I do have 2 basics. Oh, he's going to do it to himself. Okay. Not going to lie, I kind of figured he'd be trying to get me there, but... But he'd probably rather just see more cards here, I guess. Land, please. Alright. Doesn't feel like there's much of a chance, but there's at least a chance here. He's going to have 4 cards going into his turn, so... Ugh. Yeah, I'm just going to concede here because I can't, like... Yeah, it was like, so we trophy the Chandra, and then we draw Ashiok next turn is like one of our things we can do here. Yeah, I don't know. I don't think we want Fulminator Mage. I'm gonna be honest, I kind of think we just want to leave it the way it is and hope that we get under him here. I think that's really our best bet here. All right. This is for the 3-2. Sounds good. We're going to keep it. Shiver Me Timbers 4. Thanks for the follow. I appreciate it, buddy. Yeah, we're going to do both modes here. And we're going to discard basic. No, I wanted to discard basic mountain. That was bad. All right. He wants to wildfire my lands. Like, I don't think he'll want to do that, but he'll probably wildfire his own lands. Yep. I mean, he gets 2 lands out of the deal. Croaks and Trophy are pretty good. If we can hit an untapped land here, I think we'll be in a pretty good spot. I've been waiting for this moment all of my life, but it's not quite right. You've been waiting your entire life to... All right, I don't really understand what he's going for there. Must be some like inside joke I don't know about, but so I mean we have Trophy into Croxa here, like we did draw an untapped land, so we can have Trophy here if we want it, and then we get to have Croxa the following turn. So I mean, they discard a Wildfire. They have Cataracts and Pyromancer, and 3 unknowns in their hand. I mean, so they could still have lots of good things. All right. The good news is that we get to trophy that thing. So, what are you discarding? All right. He's got Pyromancer and 2 unknown cards in hand. All right. I mean, feels like we're doing it a little bit. I won't lie. Do I want another Overgrown Tomb? Yeah. I almost clicked no without even thinking about it, but I was like, that would have been bad. And it wouldn't have been like the end of the world or anything, but it's definitely better to get it off the field now. Ashiok's not bad either. We're kind of drawing a little bit of gas here. 2, 3. We're gonna leave them with 3 cards going into their turn. So, hey, Shiver Me Timbers, thanks for the sub. I appreciate it. They discard Pillage. Okay. Okay. Bloodbraid Elf's not bad. I think we just want to get Ashiok down. Like, maybe I'm wrong. Alright, I don't like the way that's set up. I mean, we have Bloodbraid and Maelstrom Pulse's leftovers here. Like, we definitely have options. Okay. 1 card left. You attacking me or are you attacking Ashiok? Me. Okay. Oh, you have a prismatic ending. Okay. I assume it's what it is. Engineered explosives on 3. Let's get your top 4 cards, boss. Leave up black and red. It like represents bolt or push here. I should have Maelstrom Pulse first because we get the extra card in their exile pile that way. One of those things I wasn't considering. Please just have bricked one time. Just like boom bust. What does the other half of boom bust say? Destroy all lands. That would be pretty bad for us. I think we would lose the game if they had bust here. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. I'm gonna be honest. Like the slower control player inside of me wants to play Liliana and plus, but I'm thinking the correct play is just to minus Ashiok and then Tarmogoyf here. Maybe I'm wrong, Chad. If you guys have any ideas, I'm open. I mean, maybe it's correct to play Bloodbraid Elf and try to hit something else. I think we're gonna go with the Tarmogoyf play. Bloodbraid, Bloodbraid Elf really allows us to turn on the clock next turn. Like, if you want to pop EE, I'm okay with that. Like, don't get me wrong, it's not great, but it is okay. Puts Planeswalker Artifact in the yard, which makes my Goyf at 5/6, so I am okay with that. Okay. Now, he does have access to make 2/1/1s here, if his hand is not great. Maybe if we, like, draw, like, a land or something, maybe our play... Like, maybe our play is play Liliana plus to hit the land. He's not doing anything, and I'm curious to know why. So Pirate, like, Croaks is really what I want to get into play here. So am I attacking for 5 and then playing Liliana and plussing and then discarding my land? Well, there's not a land in the yard, so if I'm going to do that, I should do that now to add a point. Yeah, I think that's going to be the play here. You can definitely tell I'm not good at these mid-range decks. There's a lot of play and depth and thought that goes into these kind of decks. Okay. Discard our land. Discards Lightning Bolt. Interesting. Okay, so he's going to take 6, and I'm going to be honest, the only thing I can think of is that he's going to make Pyromancer tokens, yeah, at the end of the turn here. Like, I mean, I don't know. Like, I'm pretty okay with that being his play last turn because it means he wasn't doing anything else other busted stuff. Nahiri's pretty good. Gets to exile my Goyf. And he's going to Prismatic Ending my Liliana. Okay, and then put us to 9. Alright, our opponent's, like, drawing gas here. So I think the correct play, I think we're just going to play Bloodbraid Elf and kill his Nahiri here. Alright, be good, please. K command's really interesting. Because I can... Return target creature card from my graveyard, deal 2 damage to any target. I'm gonna return Croxa. I'm gonna kill a token. Maybe that's not correct here, but we get to get a token off the field, which basically allows our opponent to trade with anything we have. Well, not with anything we have, but to trade with the Bloodbraid Elf. And yes, let's go. All right, we ended up getting a 3-2 out of that. Not gonna lie, considering my lack of time spent playing mid-range decks and other grindy things like that, I'm pretty okay with that. And the league managed to take just under 2 hours. It's pretty good time, pretty good turnaround. All right, well, this was Boomer Jund. I don't know, it was pretty cool. I really like it. I mean, I've played the deck before, but I'm not a big mid-range fan. I really prefer aggro decks, so I played against Jund a lot. I think the addition of Croaks is really good. Um, I really like Ren and Six did not feel that good to me, and maybe I just don't have that like mid-range thing in my blood that people have. But Ren and Six felt very underwhelming to me in a lot of matches. The one of Maelstrom Pulse was clutch multiple games in the main. Um, and I mean, Liliana's a great card. Liliana Bloodbraid Elf is a great card. Sideboard cards. Fulminator Mage and Collective Brutality were brought in a lot. We never brought in Boil, but I understand why it's there. Deglamour was good the times we brought it in. And Nihil Spellbomb, like we never brought it in, but I understand why it's there. Plague Engineer was also never brought in. I don't know if that's there for like spirits or if it's there for humans or what, but we never brought it in. It never saw any play in our deck. So, all right. Well, I think that was it for the stream tonight. Shiver Me Timbers, thanks for the follow and the sub. I appreciate it. If you come by and hung out tonight, I really appreciate it. And I'll probably be back this weekend. So thanks for stopping by.